Today's session, we will really actually finish the siman. Tough Kuf Pei Bays. We have spent a lot of time on the siman already, talking about different customs on the davening on Rosh Hashanah, different very relevant halachas. We will now conclude with everything that we didn't cover. Basically, Chuvas Nos Dalid relates that when you open the Aron Kodesh, you should say the Yud Gibel Midas. Right? That's what we say when you open Siddur. Right, this is what we say in Yantif. Okay. Afterwards, you say Rabbanu Shalom. He's done that Rizal. If Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur falls out on Shabbos, some places they would say the Yom Midas. They would not say it, but many places still do say it. So there is a discussion about there. This didn't come up in the Mishnah or anything, but here it is. Yeah. Okay, that's one point over there. So in the Mishnah Brura, Mishnah Brura said that some places they have the custom to give an aliyah to the person who blows the shofar. About okay. The end of this Mishnah Brura over here, in Ches, people don't even know that this exists. Mishnah Brura, after he discusses the technical details of what to do if you lane the wrong laning, which doesn't happen often, but when it does, you gotta know on the fly what to do. Mishnah Brura then quotes the Mate Ephraim. Mate Ephraim says that it's fitting for anyone who fears Hashem to strive to get an aliyah during the Yom Noraim. Even at places where they sell mitzvahs, you should purchase them according to your financial ability. On the contrary, a mitzvah that a person pays for is better than a mitzvah that comes for free. This is where when we learned together Hilchos Kiddush Levana, we saw the Eitzer Halachos ordered the custom of a Kiddush Levana. What's Kiddush Levana? Tav Chav Vav?
Around there.
Wait, so if you're paying for gas to go to Davin versus walking, is that applicable?
It's a cute question. Walking is always better.
Really?
Based on what we learned about Harpsius. Walking is better for numerous reasons, as we discussed. Furthermore, that isn't the mitzvah itself. It's more of a means to a mitzvah, a hechsher mitzvah, preparatory. It's a way to get to the mitzvah.
What's the mitzvah of getting an aliyah?
This is talking mitzvah of getting. You get to say extra brachos. I mean, it's a big thing, publicly, and it's a very special thing. So,
what's the?
What were you just saying before that?
Before that, that's the question about the gas, about the walking, paying for a mitzvah.
Before that.
Before paying for a mitzvah?
No, I started saying something. I started saying something.
Who?
Me. Dov, what were you saying before you asked your question?
That was my only question.
No, before you started your question, I was in the middle of saying something.
You're talking about paying for a mitzvah?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
You weren't listening to what I was saying? What was
No,
I
I mean, you're saying
saying? Yeah, but then I was saying something.
I'm saying if there was a paying for a mitzvah, that it's better.
I was saying something.
That wasn't topic of the Rav was saying?
No. So bring up a point of it, and then you asked a question in the middle of the point that I was making.
Proper recording. No, I don't think it was. That's what we were talking about.
No recording. It's a recording right now. I want to know how to finish my thought. What?
I'm pretty sure I didn't. I'm pretty sure that's what we were talking about.
Incorrect. That was the middle of saying.
Like that's exactly right. All right, I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Next time, hold the question until I'm done, because now I lost totally what I was saying. Okay, so the Mata Ephraim over here again says that it's fitting for anyone who fears Hashem to get an aliyah on the Yom Noraim, even in a place where they sell it. You should purchase it according to your financial ability. On the contrary, it's better to pay for a mitzvah rather than have a mitzvah that comes to a person for free and there is no money involved. So the Mata Ephraim, as we said before, is a classic on the halachas of Rosh Hashanah and a few other areas of halacha. Mr. Brew quotes him. The reason why this is hard to understand is because our minyanim that we daven in typically have a couple hundred people. Now we know that the aliyahs are limited. If you have a minyan, let's just say, with 100 people, and now for the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, you have 10 aliyahs, that means only 10% of the minyan is getting an aliyah. Right? So what this means is it's better to pay for it. The same thing, you're paying for the actual mitzvah. Actual mitzvah, you're paying for. So that is something that is very special.
You shouldn't accept any gifts. If like someone wants to buy you a little of an esrog or wants to.
Yeah, it's better to pay for it. Oh, I remember what I wanted to say. Okay. Okay. We're talking about Kiddush Levana.
Oh, that's right.
That's what siman. You both forgot. Okay. Kiddush Levana, we saw in the Oitzer Halachas. There was a custom we saw, he related some Hasidim to make a lachayim by Kiddush Levana. Do you remember seeing that? It's not in the Mishnah Berurah. Why? The mitzvah of Kiddush Levana is a freebie. You walk outside, and there it is. It's the moon. And you say the bracha and you do the mitzvah. Therefore, they would do l'chaim. Question is, if it was before Havdalah, how would they do that practically?
Hmm.
You know. And you could say, what do you mean? There's a lot of mitzvahs that are freebies. Thunder, lightning, rainbows.
That's all, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, but those aren't, you have to do it. Kiddush Levana, there was a whole discussion when we learned Kiddush Levana, which we're definitely going to do again.
Have to do it in addition.
There.
Right. We're definitely going to do it. Yeah, but we do it. But there was a whole discussion as to, is it an obligation? Is it not? What's the Geda B'Davar of Kiddush Levana? That was a major discussion. The point is, it's something we do on a monthly basis. Totally free. What else do we have like that? It's not davening.
Not davening.
Yeah, that we do, and it's free, and there's no money involved. So that's why they would do that. Right?
Wait, let me think. Hold on, let me think.
You could think you would just be thinking forever because the answer is there's no other mitzvah. Okay.
Oh, it's on a monthly
Torah is
basis.
in its own category. Any mitzvah that we do that's free. What do you mean? There's no mitzvahs that we do that are free. Okay.
Hold on.
Every mitzvah costs money. Okay. Probably the first time in your life you ever thought about such an idea, but
No, Shluch Hakan is
that's not something that you have to do, and that's not something that you always do. That's something ki yikra, you chance upon it. Nice try though. Yeah, respecting your parents and that there's strings attached to it. They took care of you financially. That's something that you have to have in mind. That's not an actual physical mitzvah that it's something there with substance with.
Birchas Hachama.
Birchas Hacham is once every 28 years. Come on.
It doesn't cost any money.
It doesn't cost any money. We're going to learn about that. You know how many years left we have to Birchas Hacham? I think it's going to be in around 9 years.
That's it?
Yeah. 9 years, right? You know how?
I think
Because
it
I
was
did it when I
2008.
was in Israel. I did Vasikin, Beis Shemesh, Ramat Beis Shemesh. That's
I think it
right.
was 2008. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
2009.
9 years.
80.
Around 9 years. 9 years. We're
Oh,
gonna learn that
oh
thoroughly. We're
gosh.
gonna learn
Yeah.
that. We're gonna learn that.
Wow.
Said to myself, where am I gonna
Uh,
be in 28 years from now? When I did it then. I
I
said,
think everyone says that.
everyone says that. All right.
I mean,
So,
hopefully,
but,
yeah.
David, where's your video today? What are you
Well,
hiding today? David, where's your
it's a
video?
long time. I mean, I'm putting it.
What are you hiding over there? What's going on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Gotta turn your screen around though, because you only get 1/3 of this of the thing this way. You gotta flip it around. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go.
You really
There we
like
go.
how I look. Okay,
You
fine.
got to pull over so you could fully focus on what's going on. That's what. See, now
Pull
we
over.
caught you. You're driving on the job.
I'm gonna pull over.
You got to pull over to fully focus. This is the
I'll
Kvias
pull over.
B'Torah. Okay, so what are we talking about? We're talking about Aliyahs. Should we wait for you to pull over to resume, or
Yeah, I'm gonna pull over momentarily.
should we wait?
No, don't wait.
So the Mishnah Brew over here in the next one says there's some places that the guy who gets an who davens Musaf gets an Aliyah. Okay, this is going on the Ramah. The truth is, this predates the Mishnah Brew over here. The Ramah says some places they call up the Baal Tokeya, the one who blows shofar to get an Aliyah. Comes along the Mishnah Brew, which I'm screen sharing for you over there. Some places they call up the person who davens Mincha, also on Yom Kippur. Someone who gets paid, custom is not to call him up.
The one who gets
Why?
muffed here.
I set up shot on this, but just look at the Prima Godim. If we take a look at the Prima Godim over here, the Ramah, same Ramah. Some places they call up the Baal Tokeya. Magen Avram in Vav says is Puzna. The custom was to call up also the person who davens Musaf also in Yom Kippur. He's quoting the Lavosh. Okay, now we go to the next page over there. It says over here in the Pri Megadim, in the Ishel of Ram, Misha Noitel Schar al Tekiyas. Someone gets paid al Tekiyav Tefila Ein Chiyav. You don't need to pay him. This is the Aliyah Rabbah in Os Tes. That's the source. So the source of this Pri Megadim is the Aliyah Rabbah. The Aliyah Rabbah is its own sefer, but in the new versions of the Lavush, the one that we have digitally on the screen, the one that I have physically at home, they provide the Eli Rabbis on the page of the Lavush. Fiza Evshali to Laval it Kayak Mashakasav Kasav Kitzer Shla. Nohagen mi sheyesh lo yischiros min atekio umitfilo enochi of klal. Custom is if you're getting paid to blow shofar and daven, you don't get called up for an aliyah. The question is why not? What's the difference? It said up shot when we learned this the first time, but I don't know if that's Amos, but so what I thought was the shot. Malcolm Shemoychun Aliyos Bedamim. Okay, in our shuls, custom in many places is they sell the aliyos for money. In that case, there's no obligation to give an aliyah to the person blowing shofar or davening. Why? In order that it won't be a financial loss to the shul itself. So too, if someone has Yurtzeit Moel San, the father of the son that is undergoing a circumcision that day, they get pushed off, and they would not get an aliyah for the people who are paying for the aliyahs on Rosh Hashanah. Also, a Kohen even.
Wow.
What about a coin?
So you boot him out, or you could even call him above him.
Even roitzim lekroy b'makom kohen or isha. Wow. According to this, you could even not give an aliyah to a Kohen and give it to someone who paid. Nevertheless, the Kohen should of course
Should
leave
leave
the
the
shul. Cannot be in shul and you call someone else up. Okay.
Point have a right to say, I'm not budget.
Yeah, but okay. I would never do such a thing. I don't think it's right. I don't think people really do it anyways. But probably could. Technically, you shouldn't in a place where that's the custom, but the Lavush knows bays. So the reason why custom is to call up person who's blowing shofar, the chazan, so that they'll be happy. Because the title is a segula to bring joy to a person. As opposed to Hashem Yishar Mesamchi Leiv. That's what it says in the Haroichus or in Kodesh and Shar Yashem. And that will cause them not to make a mistake when they blow shofar or daven. The Elif Hamagin writes accordingly. If you get paid, you should call them up. And he says that should be clarified before Rosh Hashanah, what the story will be regarding getting an aliyah if you're getting paid. Excuse me. Okay, the text of the Misha Beirach. Some say it is incorrect to say Lakavod Yom Hadin because we should reawaken on this day the characteristic of mercy. Rather, you should say Lakavod Hayom. And when you do a Misha Beirach for a sick person, you don't need to say Yom Tov Hi Melizoik. Even when Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur falls on a Shabbos, you do not need to say Shabbos Hu Melizoik.
Really means you're allowed to have the tefillah or the actual request.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, we're questioning.
Why don't we say Yisker on Rosh Hashanah? It says over here to look at the Divrei Torah, who explains why we don't. Apparently in Chabad they do it silently. Interesting. This is where we end our journey on the siman with the Pesach Chuvas. Only thing left in the siman is the Dershu. I don't want to screen share it anymore because probably shouldn't be screen shared. It's copyrighted and
You could have a song for free. Can you ask him?
what'd you say?
Can you ask Rav Hastetter if he could do it?
Could you want to call and ask?
In real charge, so charge it.
Call and ask. Say I want to I want to take a picture and then convert it into a PDF file and screen share it and record in a video and put it online for anyone to watch. Is it matter? Okay. The custom is, they say in footnote 3, to say Avinu Malkeinu Achzirinu B'Teshuva Shlema until Zachrenu L'Sicho Mechila. The Chazan says it out loud, and the congregation answers after him. Let me point out with Avinu Malkeinu, we didn't point out. We know we do it. Where does it come from?
Does he bring the source?
But yes. In these places, if the congregation already began to say Avinu Malkeinu Achzirinu B'Teshuva Shlema. But so let's say the Sivor gets up to the Chaz and goes, Avinu Malkeinu Achazirenu B'Teshuva.
You're behind.
You're behind. What do you do? So Reb Chaim Kanievsky is quoted by the Netzivos HaHalacha, Koybetz 31, page 174. Did not look it up. He says you should say it with them. Say it with them and then go back to the Avinu Malkeinu that you were saying before.
Go back closer.
Yeah, it's a practical point over there.
Definitely, especially 10 days coming up.
Yeah. The line in Avinu Malkeinu, Roy Gazar Dinenu, it's one line. Okay. It's one line. Should not be interrupting between. Yeah, you see people, seen one or two people. They're saying Kaddish. Yeshon Rav and Shemaya. B'chayim. What are they pausing there? B'chayim.
Which part?
I just said after B'chayim. Yeshon Rav and Shemaya B'chayim Alina V'Kol Yisrael. They shouldn't be pausing after Chaim. Okay.
Brown says that's what the comma should be.
What'd you say?
Where Brown says that's what the comma should
Yeah?
be. He says because it
There's no comma there in the Siddur.
says it's wrong.
It's wrong?
It's,
Maybe that's why people are pausing.
It says plain pashut shot. The Asian Rosh of Chaim, right? Because it's Shalom and Chaim. It's not yours for Shalom and
Yeah?
Chaim. That was his shot.
Okay. Maybe that's why they did it. Maybe they're Rabbi Brown people. I don't know. I don't think it's minhag. Okay, we'll have to wait until we learn Kaddish if that specific point is brought down. Okay, in footnote 9, they reiterate something that we already discussed regarding standing up for the piyutim during Chazar Hashatz. The Ramah earlier in Siman Kuf Daled, Chazar Hashatz. Sif Daled says there's a custom to stand for the entire Chazar Hashatz. That's what we do. Rav Eliashiv's quoted. We saw Yisha Yisrael. The piyutim you don't need to stand for. We already did it. Repetitious. Footnote 10, second paragraph. In order that a person won't fast on Shabbos until Chatzos, Rosh Hashanah falls out on Shabbos. The Elaf Hamagin says it is correct to drink before davening water, tea, or coffee. Okay.
Oh yeah. Right, this, yeah.
Adding to Elias, footnote 11. It's going to come up in Siman Reish Pei Beis, which is on our immediate hit list. Reish Pei Beis is the halachas of leaning on Shabbos, if I'm not mistaken. Sivkot and Vav, Mishnah Berurah says, even according to the Ramah over there, on Yom Tov, if Rosh Hashanah falls out on during the weekday, you're not allowed to add. However, if Rosh Hashanah falls out on Shabbos, you are allowed to add.
Wouldn't add Aliyah?
You could add an aliyah if Rosh Hashanah falls out on Shabbos. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
So
I don't.
Volcano, like they're ahead of the game, right? Did we ever talk about by sleepless? Let's say it's like a hurry up offense most of the time when you're having sleepless.
Sleepless, we already discussed that.
So if let's say they're starting regular davening and you're still in the piyutim over there, Anenu Hashem Anenu, et cetera, et cetera.
Slichos, we discussed on the Hilchos Rosh Hashanah playlist. If we go back, we go to this siman 581. Okay. If you go to the part 3, Slichos over here, 581, 1, part 3, we discussed around that whole area. 581, 1. There were a lot of different parts on that about Slichos. That's the place where we discussed it. The 581ers. At this one. You see, they're all labeled. They're all labeled. They're all labeled. It's not going to be the David one. Yeah, these. Oh, that's when you went. Yeah. So that's when we did it. Off the top of my head, from what I remember from what we did, I mean, I could also open up the Word document. You have it also.
True, the whole
with the summary, but you're supposed to say the what's it called again? The Gimel Midos with him.
Yeah. Sure. You're saying Kelmalei Rachman. No, not Kelmalei Rachman. Keller Chapayim.
Right.
The other one is
you say that with him, and then you go back to where you're up to.
I'm saying at the end game. That I remember we talked
What about then?
I'm talking about like after that's all done, right? You have all those piyutim, right? You have after vidui.
You go in order. You go in order.
I know you go in order, but let's say you're in the middle of post vidui before the end, and they're already starting shachris already.
Okay.
So should you just jump on board by shachris if you know you can't get to yishtabach in time with everybody? Because you don't
need to get to yishtabach in time. That's already a misunderstanding in and of itself.
Not that
from siman and base.
Right. I know we talked about that. With the shir mas you could always say on your own. I'm just saying in general, right?
Yeah.
Is it better to say all the slichas or should you skip suke de zimra?
And I understand what you're asking. I'm just making another point within that.
Okay.
Which is you got to get to Shmona Esrei by the time everyone else is saying Shmona Esrei.
Like that you want to get the full tefillah.
Either way, it seems like you're going to be missing something. In that case, so if you're gonna be skipping that, then do it after davening. And if you're gonna be skipping parts of Sukkot Zimra, why don't you preferably make that up after davening also? Right? People who are coming late on purpose, thinking I could just not say it. It's preferable to make that up after davening also. So the question is, what's more important, Psukkah de Zimmer? That probably Psukkah de Zimmer, but I didn't see the Shaila about that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if that is going to come up
So it's
in
nice and
Siman.
yom, especially
Nun
for
Aleph.
Davening.
Okay, it's Ma'asim Makol Yom, but to be honest, if you come on time, you'll be able to do the slichos.
Depends on the slichus place.
How fast are they going?
Some places.
Yeah.
Nice about Robert Brown, I should be there on time and I should be fine.
What did I say was a good pace? 20 minutes, I think it was a good pace.
Well, it depends if it's
Standard.
pre Rosh Hashanah or post Rosh Hashanah.
Right.
Because
It's only a
Rosh
5 minute
Hashanah-
difference from what I
5 minute
remember.
difference, yeah. Usually people
What a
are different
difference.
with the 5
I
difference.
think 20 minutes is very standard, very fair. People could do it. People have to come on time. And okay. Anything else?
There was that question. Oh, and I just want to know, I repeated to my chavrus, because, we're doing the dirshu about because we learned about some pastor standing for the Torah also. You brought them, I think, because we talked about the piyutim, right? You should be standing, sitting. And we talked about, the
Yeah,
halacha for
yeah.
made it practical.
There's a big discussion. I mean, first of all, tomorrow's session we're going to review the whole seminar. I already have it all typed up. It's ready to roll.
Good.
We're starting on time tomorrow. I'm serious. Today was not good. We're starting on time. I want to get it all in one session. It's 8 pages. It's going to take time, but we're going to fly through it. Okay? It flows. It flows very nice. Okay, so we're gonna get a. I don't want to schlep it out. I don't want it to take 2 sessions. It's going to take one session. We're going to review it. We're going to move on. The plan is we are going to cover. I spend time on this on Shabbos, looking into what we're doing. I spend time on Shabbos going through the Torah, Shulchan Aruch, Notes Kelim, getting a head start. I did everything except for one very long Chasma Shlama. There's around 8 simanim after the halachas of Shofar and Rosh Hashanah. There's around 8. Okay. We did every single siman before the halachas of Shofar and Rosh Hashanah, except for one, which is talking about Hamelach and Shmona Esrei. Excluding that one siman, there are 8 simanim after. The goal is to do 7 of them. There's one siman. If we have time, we'll even do that last one, which is the longest. We're going to skip the longest one. It's not that long. The goal is to do 7 of them. And this year we will say that we finished all of Hilchos Rosh Hashanah except for Shofar. If we have time also, then we're going to do that siman on fasting on Yom Kippur, which would be very appropriate to do since we learned about it already on Tisha B'Av and the other fast.
Right.
And then we're going to see what we're going to tackle in Hilchos Sukkah. There's a big discussion nowadays. Every single rabbi talks about it, about technology and everything. And the newer discussion within the technology discussion is AI. Okay, there's a lot to discuss with AI. Just going to mention in short that just like any technology, it could be used for bad or it could be used for good, for worse or for better. The AI, to my knowledge, that they're talking about that is a problem to use is, and there's a term for it that one of my customers has told me, that people who are talking to it and engaging in hours and hours of conversation, that is an issue.
For social.
For social, for therapeutic, for whatever, that is an issue. Okay, should obviously be taken with a grain of salt also, especially because the technology is new and it's not totally accurate.
Yeah.
Rabbi Yisrael Reisman already put out a famous brief shir that he spoke at the end of one of the shirim talking about it, where he said you could not rely on it for halach l'maisa, which we actually proved once by the scooter topic, if you recall. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to mention one nakuda in a way that it could very well be useful. If a person is trying to make an itinerary of somewhere to go with his children, you could say exactly where to do, exactly the place, the cost, your budget.
Yeah.
That saves time. I don't see an issue with using it for that.
Right.
That just saves time. I thought of actually, I personally used AI. They were trying to extend our warranty for another 10 years after 5 years that we had the vehicle, and the dealership quoted $6,000. I typed in AI, is there anything cheaper I could get? They said that they're marking it up. I didn't even know that they mark up extended warranties.
Wow.
It doesn't cost that. And I called around a dozen other dealerships throughout the country, and I already slashed the price in half to $3,000. So the AI saved me $3,000.
Wow.
Okay. What does it have to do with Torah? It has to do with Torah because I thought to myself, all of the writings that we have from all the summaries that we did, there's no table of contents. It's kind of just siman after siman, broken up into 6 different folders for Chelik HaMishabra. I'm going to make a table of contents. I'm gonna put in the siman that we did. Put it in AI. See how much did we cover, excluding from Hilchos Eruvin. How much did we cover? How much more do we need to cover in terms of simanim wise? Just to see where we're holding. To get a cheshbon before Rosh Hashanah. I saw Rabbi Galinsky had a Torah. His main point is that thinking about ways that we could improve ourselves instead of learning Torah is not bittul Torah. That tshuva could override, and he brought proofs. In his, he has a lot of pieces on Elul. Elul's coming up this Thursday. Something to think about how we're preparing for Elul. So, Mir Hashem, tomorrow we'll continue with the summary. Everyone have a wonderful day.
Good day, Yashikaya.
Yeah.